Hello Badass, it's Coach Joe from Some Endurance Academy. Wanted to talk a little about heart rate training 101. First and foremost, use a goddamn strap. Wrist-based heart rate doesn't do shit. It does an okay job at recording the calories around training, all the stuff that you do during the day by giving you a general heart rate. But the thing about wrist heart rate is that it uses an optical sensor that basically measures it. It bounces a laser, not really a laser, but it looks kind of like a laser. Bounces a little light off of the blood vessels in your skin, and then it measures the amount of light that comes back. Well, guess what else changes the light that comes back? All of this. Okay, so wrist-based heart rate. Once you are moving around, that looked weird. Once you are moving around, and indeed once your heart rate starts to go up and down a lot, it doesn't fucking work. Don't even bother with it. Do not buy a wrist-based heart rate monitor, okay? I mean, you can buy one, just make sure that you pair it with a strap. Once you have the strap, you should use either a watch or for the bicyclists out there, a cycling computer. There are a lot of reasons to use a watch instead of like your phone. I mean, maybe if you're on a bike and you can use your phone instead of, put it up in front of you. But there's a couple things about that. One, we want to see what our heart rate is right now. We want to be able to use our lap timer. We want to be able to use all this stuff without like having to reach into our pocket to see what our heart rate is. So I am a huge fan of a watch. Just get a watch. Okay, just get a watch. My favorite is probably this Suunto Ambit 3 series. The Run and the Peak and the Vertical, and then I think there's a Sport also, are all quite good and all do exactly what you need them to do. Once you have all this malarkey, you want to see these little. This is the little sensor. This little fucker will sometimes work and sometimes not work. It's fun. The biggest reason that I see for that is that it has not been wetted. So typically they kind of rely on your sweat in order to create a better electric contact between your skin and this guy, because again this just measures electrical impulses coming through your skin that are the electrical impulses that make your ticker tick. Oh, is that the right side? Yeah, that's the right side. It just looks funny in the video. So this needs to be wet. Now I've seen some people just lick it, which is fucking nasty. You can also, lick your finger and stick it on. I call that the porn star. Kids, never mind. Most of the time though, I just run this underwater before I go outside. And I don't try to get just this wet. I try to get it wet like from here all the way out to here. So I try to get like that entire bit wet. Put it on. Sometimes what'll happen, especially with like one of these handy dandy newfangled like Wahoo, which is Bluetooth and Ant Plus straps. Sometimes if you don't connect it to the watch right away, this thing will turn off to save battery life. So often what I will do is I will start the watch and get it recording so that this thing stays on, because otherwise it can be really frustrating. If you put this on, you like drive to a trailhead and then all of a sudden it's off and you can't get it to pair, and then you have to like reach through layers of clothing and blah. Okay, so I will often just connect it right off the bat. Let's see what other things. This has a sampling rate. So basically, like, you go out and you're doing your thing, and it is recording your heart rate in or it is showing you your heart rate in real time. It might not be, but it does not record in real time. Those little fluctuations that you see aren't necessarily what's happening on the file that it is saving. So in order to get the most accurate, well, and so let me tell you why. So basically, in order to improve battery life of these things, and to, well, and that, yeah, and that's pretty much it. In order to save battery life, basically what they do is they say, okay, well, I'm either going to record every 1 minute or record every 5 seconds, or some of the newer watches have smart recording, which is super fucking annoying. And then it basically just decides when it's going to actually record your heart rate, write it down, and save it for later. So if you want good heart rate data especially for intensity sessions, you have to set this sucker, find where it's recording interval, or its sampling rate, or it can be called a bunch of things. Set it to 1 second. Every single one of these that I have seen so far has a 1 second, even if it only has like this thing has like 1 minute, 30 seconds, 5 seconds, and 1 second. A lot of the newer stuff might only have the smart and the 1 second, but set it to 1 second, because then you actually see the changes that happen. Even at 5 seconds, it'll start blunting a lot of the edges, and I, as a coach, stop being able to see what the fuck's going on in the workout. I can't stand auto pause, okay? I don't give a shit what you did while you were running during the workout as opposed to when you were not running during the workout. Like, anytime that and this is especially true for mountain sports, because basically an auto pause means that it's saying that you must be stopped, so therefore I am not going to record. I want to know how your body is responding to that stop, if you have indeed stopped. But in a lot of mountain sports, what happens is that the terrain is so steep and the speeds are so slow in an absolute sense, even though your effort might be really high, but you're, climbing up a goddamn mountain, that it'll auto pause all the time. So just turn that shit off. Turn it off. It's a super, having that on is a super fiddly, annoying thing. Also turn off auto laps. They're just unnecessary. And they can really confuse interval workouts after that. Use the lap button. You have a lap button on here. There's a lap button on here. Use that for intervals. So for the most part, there is no benefit to having lots of separate files. So starting and stopping and actually like turning the watch off and turning the watch on between your warm-up or your cool down or your race or whatever that is actually unhelpful. It's having to sort through multiple files isn't very fun. So just use the lap. If you want to differentiate, if you want to delineate between things in your workout, use the lap button, okay? So yeah, I mean, that's most of training with heart rate, just the basics and the mechanics of it. Get a strap, get a watch, turn off most of the silly features, wet the strap, record it, and just turn the damn thing on, record all of what happens, and then turn the damn thing off and hit the lap button in between. And that's it. Have a good day.